Surviving Sister Wives contains adult content that may not be suitable for Latter-day Saints or sinners. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Sister Wives.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly, and this is Sister Wives Season 19, Episode 5, The Year of Release.
I thought it was the season of the witch, and then now it's the year of release.
Still relevant for Meri's storyline.
We had the Lady of the Woods, and now Mary's just doing her own thing.
By the way, if you are not following Meri on TikTok, you need to be doing that.
Oh my God. They have been non-stop bangers this whole season from the start.
This whole season, this is Episode 5, Corey.
I know. It feels like it's been always with us, like it was there from the beginning. Like it was destiny or something.
Like it's destiny.
Kind of like that.
Man, Robyn was slurring all over the place this episode.
You got to keep them medicated. I think, and that's what we learned with our Let's Talk About It episode this past week. That was
my God.
Quite an adventure.
I was going to say at the beginning of this, I'm so glad that I opened it with the correct name of the podcast.
Yeah.
That was...
And we didn't have to start doing something 18 minutes in and then change it midway through, which was terrifying for me.
We recapped an episode of Seventh Heaven. It was quite a delight.
We were going to do it as a riff track, that's just something that we record along with, and you watch the show back with it and synchronize your playback.
I'm sorry, Corey, it was a spliff track?
Oh, it was going to be, not a riff track, a spliff track. So it was going to be its own thing. But about 18 minutes in, Carly just decided, this is terrible. Let's not do this.
I didn't like it. Wanted to change the format.
So we just shifted into something else, and I was not prepared for that. So we got through it, though.
That is the most recent Let's Talk About It episode that's up on the Patreon, by the way, if you want to check it out. The description?
I did have to correct myself here. Since this is the year of release as the name of the episode, this is still another Bible one. I thought this was one of the ones where it was going to veer off, but I did some research, and it is in the Bible. But it's mostly in relation to bad debts. So, I mean...
No, are they trolling him at this point?
I feel like that's a bit of sarcasm in there. There has to be a backhanded thing. It's a double entendre, because we do have the release, but then it's, normally in Deuteronomy 15, 1 and 2... It's talking about every 7 years.
You're getting a little too in the weeds now.
Well, see, it's just so that we can file our business as a religion now. We can go 501c or 501(c). What is it? C3PO. Shut down all the garbage mashers on the detention level.
Did you read the description yet?
No, this is just me spiraling. This is my ADHD and my brain firing off. All right, the TLC description is, Meri asks the church for a release from her marriage to Cody. Gabe opens up to Janelle about his relationship with his father. Christine is excited for her second date with David. Mykelti reveals she ate her placenta. Robyn is left in tears on Christmas.
I knew when they said the Mykelti thing that there was no way we were getting away without some type of graphic description of something. We got off too easy with the birth.
It wasn't even a graphic description. It was a graphic image.
It was a literal graphic.
A photo that I did not need to see. This brings up the topic of editing. I think we need to discuss it, of things to include in the show, things to not include in the show. That could have been an editorial choice.
Yeah, this is our regular check-in where we are trying to communicate to Puddle Monkey.
It's our post-production meeting that we've decided to head up every week as part of this podcast now. I think there's some confusion amongst the fandom right now where there are some timeline questions that are coming into play. Are things being filmed more recently and then being presented to us as older storylines? Are they framing things differently? Are they trying to save face in some of these scenarios?
Mainly was the scene with Robyn and Cody last episode faked.
That was the big one. And I think we kind of determined that it wasn't. It seems like that was in line.
Well, so there's been a lot of conversation of when did that happen? Was it filmed after Garrison passed away? I mean, y'all, you guys are looking up when shirts were manufactured and released. The
weather
snow
patterns.
Forecast.
Yeah, weather patterns.
I mean, we're thinking up things like the driveway that they borrowed money to have fixed, the heated driveway. There was snow on the driveway. I don't know. It seems like that would mean that it's before they had that fixed.
The snowfall from 2023 seemed to coincide with what was filmed versus more recently in 2024.
This would still have been, I don't know, 2022 or early 2023, something like
Yeah.
that. But this is the problem with this show. This is why we need to get closer to current day. They have too much extra footage that they could move around.
Okay, and to be fair, I think the other part of this is that we're saying, even if it was filmed later and it was to kind of help with Kody and Robyn's image, I think it helped with Robyn's image. I still don't think this is favorable for Kody's image, though. So even if they did do it later, that wasn't really, they didn't accomplish what they were setting out to do, even though I don't think they did film it later.
I have two thoughts there. I don't think that it really helped Robyn's image unless you're a casual viewer of this show.
Right.
And then I do think that they're building a story here in the last few episodes, which is that Kody has no idea what's going on with his kids. We had the story with Maddie just showing up pregnant to the wedding. He's talking about how nobody replies to his texts. I think that if there is a story they're trying to build with this footage, it's that Kody doesn't know what's going on with his children, which, knowing what's coming in the later half of the season,
that sounds like it's going to be his go-to response for a lot of these situations.
Well, or is it such a shocking event to him that we're showing up front that it's because there truly was no relationship anymore?
He has no idea what's going on.
I think that we could speculate for a long time, but this season is like very, very long. We have a lot to go.
Here's the other part. Yes, the season is incredibly long. And then what we are simultaneously hearing, the general consensus seems to be we need to get caught up in the timeline. But then also we have a lot of people who are pointing out the inconsistencies in the footage that we're receiving because they are jumping through time. So we just have to keep that in mind. We can't do both. Puddle Monkey isn't able to do that. There is no wormhole time loop that we can go into where we get to see every single scene in chronological order and get caught up in time. There is no physical way to do that. So we have to kind of come to terms with that, I think.
Suspend
mentally.
reality.
Yes, and let the show happen, because there's stuff that is going to happen in the next few episodes here with Kody helping Meri move. We know that happens at the end of 2023. So they are going to move some things along here a little bit more because they're concluding some of these other storylines. So I think it's just kind of a level set for everyone to get on the same page. Yes, continuity is important, but I think if we're assigning a little bit too much to the reasoning behind the continuity, the simplest answer is they needed to cut some stuff. They needed to get further along in the actual timeline and get caught up in real life.
We'd be watching this show for 8 months.
For real.
Every day for 8 months.
And I mean, we're already working on it. It's looking like 6 months. So, I mean, we're backing this into probably end of March at this point.
You're right, though. It's a true dichotomy of contradictions.
Very much so. So it's just something to point out and to call out. Yes, continuity is important, but we also need to keep in mind they need to move the story along.
Which happens in this episode, because we know there's the whole controversy about the length of Gabe's hair. We will get to it.
It is a way to track, and we do understand that. The thing to keep in mind is, even though we're seeing scenes of Gabe that may be from the future, that does not confirm that other scenes that are completely unrelated that Gabe is not physically present in, that doesn't mean that those were then filmed at the same time. You could have old footage, and this could be the only new thing, because Gabe was not there at the She-Ra Chateau for that argument.
I gotta tell you, Corey, I'm starting to lose you. It feels like it's like a physics lesson at this point. It's the future, but it's also the past.
It's days of future past.
So confused. Do you want the episode description, my rewrite?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Meri finally frees Kody from an eternity with her. Mykelti shares her favorite placenta recipes. Robyn self-films as her Ambien kicks in.
Still waiting for that Ambien to kick in. Maybe she waited a little too long and now she's just getting loopy. It didn't kick in. Like she should have
gone to sleep.
Yeah, like she had an anxiety spike and then that just overrode it and now she's just getting into the loopiness.
She was too busy staying up, setting up the Charles Dickens Christmas village all night. What else are you doing on December 24th besides crying on the floor in your bathroom?
Well, it's 1 a.m. December 24th. So does that mean it's the night of the 23rd going into the 24th?
We can't talk about this anymore.
This is timelines.
It's like doing math.
It's timelines.
I'm so confused.
We'll get there. All right, but before we get into the episode, we got a couple of announcements. Thursday night, we are slated to have our first live audio stream for our Patreon members.
Not sure what we're going to talk about. We're going to obviously
We have
talk
an
about
idea.
Sister Wives. We might talk some Love is Blind.
Love is Blind. We have some slides to present, but it's basically just pictures of the couple. Spoiler alert.
Why did you make it sound so boring?
No, not boring.
We have visuals.
There are
visual
aids, and we will be talking through them and about them, probably in some capacity.
Also, in case you missed it, there was a free bonus episode that was posted here. What was that, on Friday?
Last week?
It is Tony and Mykelti's wedding, the Polygamist wedding. I still can't say it.
Yeah, it's Thursday.
Neither can Cody.
Was it Thursday? Thursday or Friday? It was one of those days. End of last week. It was up there.
So be sure to check that out if you haven't done so already.
It's part of our fantastic new Patreon collection, Sister Wives Classics, which sounds like a collector's item in and of itself. It feels like refurbishing a car, an old classic.
Very Ethan Plath of you. And as always, you can listen to this episode early and ad-free over on Patreon, patreon.com/survivingpod.
We're also doing our watch party on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern on the Discord, so be sure to sign up for Patreon, patreon.com/survivingpod, link up your Discord, and then have the live chats going on in there. And keep an eye out for our other podcast, Surviving Reality. We're dropping new episodes of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City every Friday.
We didn't get any donkey footage for this episode. There were trains and then the beats.
We had horses.
There were horses.
It was not at the intro of the episode, but they were kind of sprinkling in the pony storyline that is coming soon.
Oh, I thought that you were referencing us.
Well,
No.
I mean, for us, it's
The Robyn and Cody.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think that Robyn is probably getting into hobby horse stuff? Do you know about that hobby horse riding? Are you familiar with this?
Aren't they small horses?
No. Okay, so that's different. That's like
What is hobby horse riding?
hobby horse. Yeah, hobby horse riding. I think I'm just going to need you to YouTube search hobby horse riding just so you can get a glimpse of what that is. And now that we've said it about 8 times, I think everybody's ads and feeds are all going to be polluted with this now, because now this is a peak interest for Carly's not ready for this. Do you think that this, I feel like this could be.
Is this real?
It's very real. And I feel like this could be something that Robyn and Aurora would really get into. Like, this is something they could bond over.
I'm not sure.
Please describe it. Please describe it. No, I think I have found the right things.
Okay.
Please describe what you're seeing and I'll confirm.
You remember those little pony heads that would be on a stick when you were little?
Yes.
It involves that.
Kind of. Sometimes.
That's what this video is.
Okay.
She is dressage stepping
That is correct.
while pretending to be on a fake horse.
Yep. That's it. That's the hobby.
We can only hope that we get a season of Robyn doing
Man,
this.
if
Is
you're
this competitive?
I wish, right? That would be something. Because then Puddle Monkey, if you're sending out those Instagram feedback polls, I think you need to leave an options open, because that's the storyline that I want to see. I want to see
a lot of suggestions.
Competitive hobby horse riding from Robyn and Aurora specifically. Please and thank you.
Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop thinking about it.
It's all I've been thinking about.
You need to Google it if you have not seen this.
It's all I've been thinking about for weeks. The only thing that would be scarier than that are the people who like run the horse obstacle things where they are physically doing it on all 4.
Okay,
and they are
why
running
have you seen so many things like this?
I don't know. This stuff just comes up in my feed sometimes.
This is your For You page?
Well, no. I think hobby horse riding came up as somebody was bringing that up because nobody was able to wrap their mind around this as a concept generally. And I thought, well, there's a few people that I could assign that hobby to.
What about horse hoof cleaning?
See, the hoof videos, maybe
the hoof
that's
videos,
what it is.
That's my For You page.
And if they
I would watch it.
if they had a horse that they were taking care of and then they were cleaning the hoofs, yeah, that's half a season's worth of content right there. We'd be on board with that.
This show isn't over.
No.
Look at the possibilities for the future.
It's got legs, literally. It's got hooves.
The music was funky, though, in the opening, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah.
Sometimes we get the trap beats.
Yeah, the trap beats, I think, were in the recap part. So that was like the previously on segment where they were dropping the beats.
Well, we're keeping the mood uplifting, fun, funky, because Cody is really excited to go visit the twins.
He is flying high on meeting these new Bambinos because...
The Bambinos. I have so much to say about it. It's Italian, but it would also be Bambini would be the plural for babies. So I'm like not really sure what Cody is referencing. It's not Duolingo.
No, and it's a mix of Italian and Spanish because it's a Spanish ending to pluralize in that way. But Bambino is the Italian word for baby.
For baby boy.
Yeah, baby boy. And Bambini would be the plural of that. So incorrect on both fronts. It's not the Spanish word. It's not the Italian word. This is just a Cody word.
I was so excited when he walked in and he was like, they're so tiny. That was for Amanda and Jody.
That was for Amanda and Jody. Yeah, that was
Amanda.
Specifically for them. Amanda Nada.
So tiny.
They had to leave that in.
It was really weird watching Cody in the scene because it was like his old self.
It was. It kind of came right back. And it's weird to see him in dad mode because we haven't seen it for so long. It's just been very, very strange.
I don't think maybe Avalon remembered him.
No, he's still this strange guy who just uses weird words that don't make any sense. And
that is rather terrifying.
That makes a lot more sense now.
It seems like children can sense evil.
Well, it's just they're picking up on a vibe. Yeah.
Something's not right with this man.
He's off.
She doesn't welcome the hug.
Yeah, she gets her own no thank you granddaddy moment.
It's going to have to be its own thing now.
Where it's no hug from Avalon. She does pity him with a fist bump, though.
That's as close as she's willing to get.
Yeah, she's going to keep it arm's length.
She's going to fist bump the horse ring.
The horse hoof.
I can't believe they're still wearing those rings.
It's amazing that they are that brazen. And that brave. So what do we got? Yeah, it's visiting Tony, Mykelti, Avalon, baby Ace, and Caitlin. Because that's how I'm just going to refer to the twins from now on. Pretty much.
Forget Archer, it's Caitlin.
Yeah, that's what happens in my head now. It's just Ace and Caitlin is what comes out. So
it's an automatic association.
It's going to be a problem.
They're just so thankful that they get to spend this time here with Mykelti because she is the only one who sees the truth. And that is why they get to have such a good relationship with her.
I think the reason why they're having such a good relationship is because Mykelti is singing Cody's praises, Cody and Robyn's praises. So that is earning favor with them and vice versa, because then Cody's talking about how he sees something so special in Mykelti. There's something about her.
He can't describe it, though.
It's undescribable.
It's a little indescribable. Is it really a win, though, when the least favorite child in the family is the only one who still wants to have a relationship with you?
Out of pure desperation? Probably, too. It's because you have starved this child for attention for years, for the majority of their life. To go that long with just absolutely nothing, then yeah, now Mykelti's going to be thankful for whatever she gets. And anything she gets is going to be a drastic improvement over what she's had in the past.
They even want her to live with them now.
What? That was a big step. And to not even bring it up, and Cody didn't ask. He didn't ask mom for permission for the sleepover.
You got to put it like to Robyn. She is adaptable. She has just pivoted the Biggie Housey dream with the sister wives to let's just have Mykelti and the grandkids move in.
Anybody else we can trick to just come and live in our house with us?
Well, not the Shira Chateau, though.
Oh, no. Something else. We would need to get something bigger, obviously.
It makes me wonder, is that our clue as to what's going on with them selling the house?
It does. I mean, that lets us know what they're looking for in the market.
He did mention, I want a guest house.
At least for like either an in-law suite or for some other children to enmesh with him and not leave the nest. Return to the nest, actually.
They need more bedrooms because right now there's too many people and not enough bedrooms. How many? Aren't there 6 bedrooms in that house?
Yeah. It was because there were no rentals that had 6 bedrooms. They had
7
to
was
buy.
ideal, though. That's what Robyn was looking for
That was what she was praying for, but
the spirit baby.
God was out on leave or something. I think he didn't check his voicemail.
PTO, baby.
Respect the PTO. But
prepare the others.
But I think this was just where Cody is now recounting on how much he misses being worshipped by an entire family. So that's the kind of experience that he's getting here with these infant children. He's remembering now, wow, that was such a great feeling. I'm really missing that.
It'd be great to recreate it.
I've lost all of my supply, and I'm going to need to find another way to fulfill this.
At least Mykelti made it pretty clear that she was not into that idea.
That was good.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, no thank you.
And then we're very quickly going to change the subject to talking about placenta. That way we don't have to come back to living with them.
Shifting gears, let's get even further away from any biggie housey discussion. Let's talk placenta.
I mean, do you want to live with me? Because there may be chunks of placenta in your food processor, in the dishwasher.
The blender, yeah, you never know where it's going to pop up. And Robyn had to leave notes on the fridge where it's ask Robyn or Mindy before taking leftovers. Mykelti's going to have to leave a note on the fridge. Ask Mykelti if you're taking my placenta. Please don't.
Please do. I think she's willing to share.
I don't know.
She only took a chunk, a little bite out of the first one.
It was a pretty
Should
big
we put
chunk.
Trigger warning on this?
Yeah, it's gross.
Well, okay. This is not like a foreign concept.
Well,
they are talking to us as though no one has ever eaten their placenta before,
Okay.
ever.
Well, what I'm saying is the graphicness of how they're explaining it, that was what was gross for me. And they didn't do a trigger warning.
The
Yes.
literal picture
When
was
you-
kind of a lot.
When you have a picture that still has teeth marks in it and a mouth-sized chunk that has been removed,
It's like a wild animal.
well,
We find out she kind of is like one.
because Christine was disgusted at first at the idea of eating placenta, but then she found out some Christine animal facts.
It's like a Carly animal fact, so get ready.
It's-
It's what all mammals do.
which is not accurate.
A lot of mammals do, apparently. I did Google this.
A lot.
Not all.
Not all. So let's be careful with that because this still is the learning channel, is it not? What are we learning?
Robyn was the first mammal to ever eat her placenta.
I think she was the first mammal in this family to eat the
No, I was the first one to ever do it, in case you guys want to know. She started a trend. She's on Mom Talk.
I don't think that's where that went. No, and with Christine's rejection of it immediately at first, but then she warms up to it. Like a lot of other things in her life, I feel like, too. She had an aversion to it at first, but then she kind of throws caution to the wind. And then eventually it's just you and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals.
It's just a regular thing, just regular Thursday.
So let's just do it like they do on the Discovery Channel.
That's a little much.
Oh.
This is the Learning Channel.
Yeah, but now it's all the same.
Discovery. It is.
It's all the same network
Same
now.
network.
They merged. I was more at Meri's reaction, where it was just no, thanks.
I guarantee you they showed her the picture.
Yeah, probably.
This entire clip, she watched that.
Carne asada is going to hit a little different for me now when Tony made that association too. You have taken something from me today.
I had to say, I did not expect it to look so meat-like.
Yeah, it looks like flank steak.
I feel like that would make me more averse to taking a bite out of it.
When
just because
it's-
it looks uncooked.
Yeah, as raw meat would tend to off-put you, probably.
I knew when she said that she encapsulated it, that she had it put in pills, that we were not getting away with just watching Mykelti take a pill.
No, she had to show what we missed out on, what they were unwilling to air previously, but desperate enough to air this time, I guess.
I don't know. This whole conversation is unhinged because then they talk about the breastfeeding, which I have to say, last episode, we theorized that perhaps Beelzebubby
I was close.
was wet nursing the twins.
Maybe not as 100% actually doing it.
Tried.
But she tried. I think there were attempts that were made.
We're trying. Maybe they didn't latch.
For bonding, yeah. And just to see what happens a little bit.
They clearly saw the footage that they didn't show us.
Is that what it was? Then they dropped this in just to respond to that? I don't know. Cody just can't get over this new baby smell. It's just
Delicious.
delicious.
He did. He called it delicious. What do new babies smell like? Someone's got to tell me. I don't
Is it-
have one. And I've not smelled other people's new babies.
Yeah, I don't usually have that sort of reaction. It's not like new car smell, though.
No.
It's different.
I feel like it's like they smell like baby powder,
Yeah.
breast milk, sour milk. I don't know.
Spit up. Yeah.
Anything that's been laying around on them.
And then poop. There's got to be some poop in there.
Great. This is.
It got too real. Sorry. They try to discredit the okay.
Hold on, the accusation.
The breastfeeding swapping rotation.
So that's what the accusation is that in their church, in a plural community, that the women just, anybody who's lactating will feed any baby. They just pass the babies around.
So this was what Mykelti brought up to Christine, and Christine laughs immediately and dismisses this as ridiculous claims. Absolutely absurd. I guess she forgot about Meri because...
I was yelling at the TV.
Yes.
I was like, you are not going to gaslight us. It's in the book.
It's in the book.
Robyn's New York Times bestseller, Becoming Sister Wives. They mention Meri breastfeeding baby Maddie because she was failing to thrive.
Failing to thrive. It was medically necessary. She didn't say who it was because she didn't want to embarrass anybody. Sorry, Maddie.
Oh, she didn't?
It's in the book.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's...
Oops.
We know the lore. We're familiar.
It
Sorry.
is in the book.
It's already out there.
So she forgot that happened, I guess.
Just blocked that out.
It's not the norm, I guess, was the point.
But then Robyn makes a point to very much attempt to normalize it. Again,
Well, of course.
lending credence to our theory from last week, where she was a little hesitant to admit it. There was a little bit of shame in there, maybe.
She would have, she could have. Women supporting women.
It's
That's
women-
what this is.
Yeah, it's just people helping people, women helping women.
You're going to get us in trouble.
No, well, that's a quote from Wedding Crashers.
Oh.
People helping people.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Let it happen.
The babies are great. They don't question Cody's behavior.
They don't hold them accountable either because they
They
don't.
can't talk yet.
They can't talk.
They're forming their first memories.
They can barely see more than 4 feet away from them at any point.
This is the ideal state of a human being for Cody to interact with.
He loves this part of the experience.
That's pretty much it for the visit, aside from just Christine talking about how Mykelti has managed to have this relationship like this with Cody and Robyn.
Yeah. It's been so great because Mykelti is honest and open enough with Robyn and Cody to tell them exactly what her expectations are and exactly what she needs. And I think it's been working out so great because the answer to everything she's asked for has been yes. But as soon as there's any sort of counter in that, then we're going to have an issue, probably.
I kind of don't think that she holds them accountable because I'm not understanding how Maddie had some expectations. They weren't met, so she stopped having a relationship. Gabe goes on to talk in this episode about how he wants an apology and he's not going to get it because Cody can't be held accountable for anything, so they don't have a relationship. And then Mykelti actually talked on her Patreon about this, about how even when she has tried to have conversations with Cody about things where he has some accountability, he deflects it and defers and tries to blame something else. And
Every
that
time.
doesn't make the conversation go very well.
Right. Yeah. And then it just gets confusing because his only defense is let's find a common enemy where we can direct all of our bad emotions towards that person. And then that's how we can move forward.
I just don't think that it's because the other kids have failed to ask for what it is they need.
Nope. So I think that's an unfair assessment. Maybe Christine didn't fully understand what was going on at that time, but I think that's kind of a stretch to say Mykelti is so above and beyond as far as what her relationship status is with Cody and Robyn, and she's able to comprehend how to navigate this so much better than everyone.
I don't think Christine knows a lot of what she's saying in these talking heads because she's flying high
Oh, yeah.
on the David D the rest of the season.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Christine is gushing about David. And,
No, that's
well,
here we are.
maybe not yet.
This is
There has been no
gone
physical
on their second date.
No, but there's no physical contact yet.
She's getting a little antsy because of that.
So maybe she is building. It is a year of release. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
So second date, we're going to keep it cash. We're going to talk about how I used to be a polygamist.
You cool with that? All right. Here it comes. Ready or not. This is what it is.
It went great. David doesn't want to live polygamy. He knew what it was, so she didn't have to get into it too much. He didn't take it as an invitation to be in an open relationship. So he is miles ahead of the other men that she has met online.
Looking back, though, comparatively, between dating Cody as a married man and she was joining in as a third wife versus dating David. It's very different.
Didn't she marry Cody within 2 or 3 weeks? There was no dating period.
It was like a month. Yeah, there was like a month courting.
Only because it took Annie that long to make that sack.
Yeah, to sew her into it. And I think they had been friends before. They knew each other.
Friends is different.
Friends. And then they were
Come on,
kind
Christine,
of,
you know that.
and that's why Christine was upset, was because they didn't ask her to join their family. And they went to someone else instead. And so she was hurt by that.
Betrayal.
Wounded from the start.
I felt really bad for her that she thinks it's normal for now the third date. She's going to ask David if he's attracted to her.
Third date.
Because she's just got to be clear, because the last one didn't tell her until 20-something years in.
By most standards, you should know by the third date if there's an attraction. Probably, right? You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals.
She's getting the...
Making the beast with two backs.
I can't wait to see her glow next episode. Gabe? Should we go ahead to Gabe hanging out at Janelle's apartment and frying some eggs?
Her dorm room.
Why is it like Janelle's in a dorm?
It feels like that.
She even has one of those little 2-people tables.
2-people table? Oh, okay.
It's just big enough for 2 chairs.
Like a nook. It's just her and
It's
Savannah
like an
usually.
IKEA table.
Yeah. Most things are for us, I think. Just very IKEA setup. But man, there are some crimes against eggs in this scene.
I know, it was all you were thinking about.
It's all I could, and for a few moments, it's all that Janelle could focus on too. She was staring at them like, how am I going to eat these? How am I going to get through this?
She had a spoon.
I thought that was a weird move.
Well, she did ask for her eggs to be like slightly soft.
Okay, for how burnt they were on the bottom,
You're going to need a knife.
Those aren't soft.
You're going to need a serrated knife. They open this part of the conversation, though, by shit-talking Cody, which was probably not the best move, knowing this is going to be on TV.
It just comes naturally.
It does.
It just happens.
Just how do you bring him up? That's how you have to start a conversation.
Part of the conversation.
They're mocking the way that he requests his eggs to be cooked. And then the fact that he has to order a lemon in a hot water every time they go to a restaurant.
It's canon now, because I think we just saw it and we pieced it all together for a while. And then now it's confirmed.
I'm pretty sure they're watching him on TV in what season 17 is airing at the time. And they're like, what the fuck? This is even weird to us.
Yeah, it's strange.
His lemon requests have escalated since the last time we went out to eat with him.
Extreme.
Things have not changed between Cody and the boys since COVID. So we're picking up exactly where we left off. And Gabe is bringing the receipts on that conversation that Cody mentioned in the last episode in that driveway play. Should we call it a play?
Matinee. Yeah, the matinee showing of that recording.
It was more like a dress rehearsal.
Yeah, it was still, we were still working out the kinks here and not Christine's.
Apparently Cody texted him, and in the text, it was not like a heartfelt, I miss you, I want to see you. It was more like, you owe me an apology. When would you like to give it to me?
There's more of a threatening aura about it, as you would assume Cody's texts probably are. So I like where Janelle couldn't even keep track either of the issues that Cody had with her kids at this point because of the loyalty claims, how the heart and soul of this entire family has been disrespected or some BS like that. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. But the apology combo for Cody forgives Gabe because obviously Cody is the bigger man here. Always has been. I will forgive you for all of your wrongdoings to me. And Gabe gets confused because I missed the part where I did any wrongdoing to you. So could you circle back on that part and explain that to me a little bit more?
I feel like that apology, though, was hinging on Gabe's apology in return.
Oh, that's what... Yeah, Cody was fishing at this point. He was on a fishing expedition.
And he didn't get one.
No apology because, yeah, Gabe was basically just explaining, I don't think that that's what this is here. And if you're just apologizing to me because you want me to apologize to you, that doesn't make any sense.
Feels a little disingenuous.
Cody doesn't know that word, though. So we're going to have to come up with a different way to explain it to him.
So the haircut is showing us that this is sometime in 2023. So it's probably, this is a long time that this has been going on. We're still talking about disagreements from 2020. 3 years it's taken this man to give any form of apology to one of his children.
And when did he get COVID? That was in 2021, right? Because that was when Cody really had his change of heart and his stance on COVID and how he needs to get all these relationships right with his kids.
Did that ever happen?
No. No.
It's like, I'm not remembering this. I don't remember that scene.
Because of Cody's near-death COVID experience, 99.7 degrees. We remember he became hostile. I think he was hostile before then, though.
Man, something really cooked in this man's brain.
Fried like these eggs. Just
that fever did something to him.
Scrambled. With Gabe coming up with the explanations that he has, where I think Gabe understands the situation.
He's been in therapy, so that helps.
He knows what's going on. He has set his expectations. He is not responding in emotional, reactionary ways that Cody usually tries to whip people up into a frenzy to have a reaction. He's not doing that. He's just hoping that Cody can take accountability. Clearly he cannot. So that's making it an easier decision to say, okay, well then I'm probably not going to engage with you further or have a deeper relationship with you. And I am okay with that. I think that part, maybe he's not fully there yet. I don't know personally where he's at. Obviously, it's just complete speculation. But I think we saw the difference between where Gabe's at with the relationship versus where Savannah's at. Because I think Savannah's still at that earlier stage where it's just, well, this is my dad. He's kind of very unreliable. He shows up when he shows up. We have a good time. I get what I get, and that's okay, I guess.
My dad's a loser. That's what she's learned.
Pretty much. And I'm cool with that. I can meet him where he's at as being a loser. I can make that happen. Because if I don't do that, then I
don't get the very little bit that I get.
I have nothing at all. So I think Savannah's at that stage where she's saying, well, I get what I get, and then it's better than nothing, I think is her kind of mentality that's encapsulating her behavior right now. We're getting to Gabe's stage where he's basically saying, I would rather have nothing if this is what I'm getting, because now he knows the behavior patterns that are here, the accountability that Cody is dodging, and everything else that's going on with this relationship dynamic.
I don't blame him because it's so confusing to try to have a conversation with this man. Now he is denying that he ever tried to enforce patriarchy.
That was pretty wild of a claim when we have so much footage of him declaring patriarchy.
I declare patriarchy.
I'm surprised he didn't have a flag made up that he could stick in the ground at Coyote Pass.
We went back and watched the Teflon Queen episode.
That is the episode. Season 16, episode 9, Teflon Queen. Go back and watch that one because that is the one to kind of pair with this one very nicely if we're going to be your...
So wine and a cheese?
With your sister wives sommeliers this episode. Just a subtle tinge of patriarchy.
I like that. That feels like it could be an ongoing thing.
Yeah, that's very classy. Yeah, what's our sister wives pairing for this one? A rewatch that you can do.
And throughout that episode, he repeatedly talks about how he wishes he had been more patriarchal because then the kids would have listened to him during COVID.
But Cody never did that because even then he was complaining how he should have been more patriarchal at that time. But I guess even that, it just seemed like it was too much work at that time, too. It's way too much work to be in charge of all these people and manage all this stuff.
Well, that's why he just chose to be in charge of Robyn's house.
That works better. Yeah, he feels like he's in charge at Robyn's house, so that's where he's more comfortable.
I couldn't believe that Janelle said that the kids have actually had conversations with Cody where he has said to them flat out, I wish I had waited and just married Robyn. Okay, whether or not they said those exact words, she said they have multiple stories that are very similar to that.
And that is the key, I think, to all of this, because whenever anybody interacts with Cody and then that person goes and compares notes to other people who are interacting with Cody, that's when Cody falls into turmoil because his stories don't add up. He is playing to the audience of the person who he is speaking to at that time. So whatever answer he gives, it's not going to line up. It's not going to coincide with another explanation that he has in the running.
You kind of saw that happen in the last episode in the driveway with Robyn, where you see the manipulation taking place, where he tries to get Robyn back on his side by reminding her that everyone's blaming it on you.
Yes, this is the move. And we have to align with who is our common enemy. Because if you go back to the Teflon Queen episode, that's what he does with Gabe. He gets Gabe mad at Janelle and Christine for not following the COVID protocols, which that is what kept them apart over the summer. Not the fact that Cody just stayed at Robyn's house that whole summer.
So we've made zero progress on moving past COVID or acknowledging the fact that there was, in fact, favoritism with Robyn.
Denying that wholeheartedly. Never said that.
I just have to say, I am happy that we are taking footage from the future and cutting it in here, because I cannot take 18 more conversations about how Robyn was not the favorite.
I'm willing to bet that he has had those conversations and then he doesn't remember that those were the excuses that he gave. I think I believe him saying that he never said that because he believes he never said that.
He's got long COVID.
But I think he definitely did. Yeah, there's some brain fog.
Cognitive stuff is moving a little slowly.
Brain fog is resting heavy.
Do you want to keep going with Gabe, or do you want to go back to the Meri storyline that they cut in?
Yeah, let's try and choke down these eggs here and just...
Okay, we're going to keep going with Gabe.
We'll finish this up here. We get into Robyn's victim complex. Not a victim, Schwady.
I don't know why that was like a 30s silent film. Well, not a silent film.
Oh, I think I heard it. It was a talking picture.
There you go.
Yeah.
It was a transatlantic accent. That's what you had there.
Yeah. But that's kind of how she said it at the, what was that? The Q&A session that they did for polygamy when she was defending that.
Gabe sees Robyn the way the rest of us do. And he doesn't want to have a relationship with her. He's good with no relationship with Cody, no relationship with Robyn, especially if Robyn is really convinced that they never treated her right or that they were mean to her kids.
If Robyn is confusing favoritism with being mistreated, then I don't think I want to continue talking to her. I think that's a good place to be.
He does want to have a relationship with Robyn's kids, though. He misses Rora, who's very busy at her youth group, by the way.
We don't need to see it.
That's why they asked about it in the survey.
Oh, please don't do it to us. Okay, but seriously.
No, we know that she's found one, so that definitely is a storyline that they filmed.
I know, and I'm worried. Give me the horse hobby stuff instead.
He misses Dayton. So do we. We need a Dayton sighting on this show.
People are worried about Dayton. We need something. We need evidence.
We need like a little Dayton tracker in the corner where we just see his location moving around during filming.
Yeah, he needs to report in. Where's Poppy?
Sorry, that was actually Spanish.
Yes. I thought Cody took an interesting gambit here, where he was still patting Robyn on the back for always having the fortitude and the courage to force him into having relationships with all these other people in the family that he doesn't care to have relationships with. So he's still defending Robyn in all of this, and then flips this to Janelle is a relationship coward. I don't know how we got there necessarily, because I think it was the last conversation that Janelle and Robyn had.
Sorry, the one where Robyn said that she was in mourning right after Janelle's mother passed away.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Not because of her mother.
No,
just because of things going on with the family.
Things have been rough for Robyn in that time span. So with Robyn begging Janelle for a relationship and Janelle saying no, Cody's really throwing down the gauntlet here and highlighting all of his insecurities and just saddling those right onto Janelle. And saying, yeah, she's a relationship coward.
I'm pretty sure if you asked Janelle, she would just flat out say, I never really liked Robyn. Didn't she say that at one point? We just don't have a lot in common.
A couple of times.
So it's not really someone that I want to hang out with.
Also, did you mean relationship genius? Because then she's firing off with triangulation, ego stroking, manipulation, all these different things where it's like, that's exactly what it is. She's seeing Robyn and Cody's relationship for what it is. And that's why Cody is really thriving over there. Janelle used to hear all these words about teamwork and
love and charity.
Love, charity, compassion, all these things that Cody used to say. And now it's all flipped to loyalty and
patriarchy.
patriarchy and Fidelis, but not really. Things have changed, and I don't think it was that COVID fever. It definitely happened before that.
It was when nobody was on board for the Biggie Housey.
Yeah. It was a bummer.
Well, not really for him, for Robyn. He couldn't watch Robyn's dreams be crushed.
Oh, I guess the lesson for this segment is everybody needs therapy. Gabe's doing it. I really hope everybody else partakes.
Oh, maybe we should talk about that. I felt like it was hard to hear that Janelle thinks that everybody could use that and that not all the kids are in the same place as far as being able to accept the situation with Cody.
She's hoping for peace, but not necessarily reconciliation, whatever that means. But a few of her kids are on very different points along that path.
Shall we talk about Meri? She needed to get a paycheck this episode, so.
She's got a release.
She finally went to the leaders of their church.
Relent, recoil, release.
And they were like, love, we've had your folder pulled on our desk for a long time. We've been waiting for you to show up. Of course.
Where have you
been?
been?
We will clear our calendars. Come in any day this week. We already have the template filled out. We just need to put a couple of signatures on it, and we're all done.
A wet signature here and there, and I think you'll be all set. I was shocked at how fast this happened, but maybe it's because they probably cut out a bunch of stuff. This would have been a 4-episode buildup of her trying to figure out what was going on with the release, but maybe it did just turn around that fast. She sent one email, made one phone call, and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
They were like, we don't even need to see his side of the story.
We've talked to him. We need no updates.
We know enough about that man.
No notes.
So she did give Cody a heads up about the fact that she had gone to the church leaders, that she had requested this. I would assume that he could have engaged with them if he wanted to give his side of things. But he just ghosted. He just didn't even respond to the text.
Yeah, so they...
Do you think that he blocked her?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Because then he still has to invite her to Thanksgiving and Christmas. Maybe he unblocks her in October. And then that's the annual text that she gets. But I think it's interesting, too, where Cody gets so upset on the grounds of the release because the church deems it as abandonment of Meri. And Cody is very upset with that verbiage. He's not comfortable with that. But isn't that kind of what you did even in this process? You didn't even respond to the church.
You didn't even respond to her text.
When she's asking you about the release, and there's nothing from you in reply from Meri or with the church. You didn't respond to anyone.
You did kind of just leave all your shit at her house and never come back again. So I'm pretty sure that gets the literal definition.
I think that would probably, classify as abandonment in most cases.
To be a fly on the wall when the church leaders called him to tell him about the news.
Because he was in the car with Robyn, so I'm sure Robyn was sobbing over there too. Obviously, this is detrimental for her. Even though I found it was very interesting that Cody immediately shifts blame for why he strung Meri along for so long. That was Robyn's idea.
I loved it. It was the first time we've seen him blame Robyn for something.
That was wild to me because, I mean, he wasn't blaming her in a negative way. He was basically saying Robyn was encouraging him to wait it out and have God change his heart. So then that way he'll feel love for Meri again. Wasn't happening. Cody was aware that was never going to happen, but he just kind of kept going with it because that's what Robyn kept asking him to do. He just does what he's told.
There's no favoritism, though.
Like a true patriarch. He just does what he's told. Okay. So now Meri's going through all of her weird haunted photos. She's pulling them down. The motorcycle one, though, did that rev you up?
Look, that's a classic. How are you going to take that off the wall?
Long hair Meri.
Just cut Cody out of them. Just keep yourself, Meri.
There are so many AI tools now. You can go in and crop him out of you can put anybody in those photos. You could put Colonel Sanders in those photos. And that would drastically improve the quality of them.
I gotta say, there's a lot of potential.
Finger licking.
Just saying, Meri, if you're looking for TikTok ideas, that's one of them.
That would be great. Oh my God. Yeah, that's something.
Robyn trying to rewrite how this all went down.
Wow. Yeah.
It's not helping with the thought that they are scripting things for themselves. Because she's trying to claim that Cody was super emotional about the release having been granted, that he was crying about how things ended with Meri.
Okay, so to be fair, she said he was very emotional. She didn't say what emotions there were. So I feel like there's some lying by omission on some of this, and then she frames it in a way that makes Cody look sympathetic because that's always her goal. I don't think they aligned on their stories, though, before they showed up for these interviews.
No, and the producers roasted him with that cut.
It was flawless. Yeah, because Robyn is setting up such a sad story. Cody's deep remorse and how he's shed tears over this. Tears of joy? Perhaps.
Excitement.
We didn't explain.
He's thrilled. He's rid of her for the afterlife.
He shed tears. Yeah, there is a sigh of relief. Sure, it's sad, but at least it's done.
I moved on a really long time ago.
I think he was just afraid of what Meri would do to him. He was afraid of Meri.
He says that.
Yes, factually, he is afraid of Meri. I don't think he knows how much Meri has changed because he hasn't spent much time with her in the last 10 years.
Or like, what skeletons is Meri aware of that he's afraid that she's going to be letting people in on things or telling them things about him?
I mean, maybe. I think he just thinks that she's still the same petty 19-year-old girl that he married.
Okay, I'm here for it. Let's see petty Meri.
I would love to, but she says that that's beneath her. It doesn't serve her. She's not interested in doing that.
Join mediocre down, Meri.
Oh, we'll get you some ideas here. And it's not just the Colonel Sanders ones that you're getting for free here. Okay? Because Cody knows what happens in a divorce. This is why he's afraid of Meri. You get your reputation trashed in a divorce. And he proceeds to prove that point by trashing Meri's reputation immediately here. Meri was never loyal to me as a wife, ever. Never, ever.
Except for that one time that I had to make all of my wives a necklace that encompassed their entire personality and what they meant to me, and I chose loyalty for Meri.
To be fair, he tried to have dog imagery. That was what he suggested first.
Loyal like a dog.
Fidelis was a secondary option. To be fair.
Meri didn't tell anyone that this has happened because she doesn't talk to them anyway. It'd be kind of weird just to shoot off a text to let someone know that.
Meri, spill the tea. You have information that is so vital for everyone else. You need to get the word out.
She doesn't want to be messy. I don't like it. I'm here for the mess.
You know what it is? I think she knows that Cody's not going to be able to keep this secret.
Of course, he leaks like a sieve.
And she's spot on right again.
Janelle's like, yeah, he called me about something totally unrelated. And then just in the middle of the conversation was like, oh, by the way, Meri got a release.
He just blurted it out. He couldn't hold it in. Oh, God. And she left me. Meri left me. Oh. And Janelle's like,
okay.
What? It's about fucking time.
She was like, that feels like something that you probably shouldn't have told. Yet another thing that you probably shouldn't have told me that you did.
More things you should not be telling me. But okay, whatever.
You know what? Let me know when the check clears for Coyote Pass. Don't call me until then. This isn't making Janelle and Christine consider getting a release through their church, though.
I think Janelle's story was kind of weird where she didn't even know who to ask or anybody at the church. She doesn't have any connections.
Ask Meri.
Ask Meri.
Meri knows.
Meri has a number. You have Meri's number. Just say, hey, girl.
She probably doesn't.
She probably lost. She probably lost it.
The day she packed her stuff, she was like, delete on that. Won't be using that again.
Well, should I hang on to it just for... Probably. I think we're okay. We'll figure it out.
Why don't they go do that? I would be like, bam. What are the other words that Cody doesn't like? We got abandonment. What else can we have attached to them? Do they have loser dad as one? Janelle gets that one. Deadbeat. Abandonment. Deadbeat. What would Christine get? Impotent.
Eunuch.
Let's just keep going.
Celibate.
Well, in that case, Meri could have gotten that one too. Maybe we need a revision to the release.
Oh, boy.
Rom is just hoping we can all stay friends. It'd be nice if Meri could come over and cosplay being in a plural marriage with us. We'll just
No, I mean, yeah, it's just, this is a weird thing to wish for here.
Okay, let's get to the bathroom thing. This is the best scene in the whole episode. I don't know what happened. We never really see Robyn self-film.
This is true. Do you think she has a bunch of self-filmed stuff that she's just never been able to figure out how to send it to anybody?
I feel like it's probably like a lot of Janelle selfies where it's just like from the bridge of the nose up.
Yeah, it's not a good frame.
A lot of it's unusable.
Yeah. Well, and for a while there, it was, if she's in the same house, this was the only time that she had where Ariella was not going crazy in the background. And so her audio is usable here.
I don't know. This is really sad. She's just on the bathroom floor. It's 1 a.m., the morning of Christmas Eve, and she's crying for herself.
You say this is really sad. I think I love this for Robyn. I think I really do. I'm kind of cherishing, and this is a very heartwarming scene for me.
Okay.
Personally.
This is exactly where she was meant to be.
Because this is everything. You're reaping everything that you've sowed for this entire series.
This is not the life that Robyn envisioned for herself. She's not getting to live plural marriage anymore. That's something that she's wanted to do since she was a little girl, and these other people took it away from her.
Everything in this scene, everything that she says and that Cody says, it's me, I, my. It's everything terrible that's happening to them. It's no one else. There is no empathy. There is no consideration for anyone else's feelings in any scenario.
No, and this is going to discredit the scene last week in the driveway, because at no time do we hear Robyn say that she's heartbroken for the other kids who are all going to have separate Christmases, who don't get to be with one another, who don't get to have this time with their siblings and their dad.
To be fair, she could have said that, and it wasn't included as part of the show.
Come on.
From the way that they consistently speak,
it's all about themselves.
It does not seem like that was something that was left on the cutting room floor or intentionally left out to make them look bad. I feel like this is what they share. It was Robyn and Cody versus the world.
She was getting to pretend for a while, too, that things were somewhat okay by having Meri come for holidays, and now she didn't come for Thanksgiving, and she told them she's not coming for Christmas.
She was really counting on Meri to cook the turkey, too. She doesn't want to say that, but man.
She just does the Christmas shopping. That's her favorite part.
Robyn wanted to take the turkey cooking responsibility that one time just to put Meri in her place, but now it's become like a full-time expectation responsibility thing.
You're right. It was really gross when she was talking about how she can't have the perfect Christmas. So she's going to put on a good brave face. She's going to pull it together for her kids because they deserve that. But this isn't the Christmas that she wants.
I went to buy some more Christmas presents, and the bank account was empty.
That's what she's sad about.
I was not able to buy
it's the
3 more rounds of presents for my kids.
It's the first Christmas without access to another sister wives' bank account.
Yeah. Meri has withdrawn her funds. Janelle has closed those accounts. And yeah, there's no mini bikes for anybody this year.
I guess we'll see next episode because they have some more. We're not done with Christmas. We didn't get there yet. She cries us out. It's kind of the end of the episode.
I feel like, this cry that Robyn gives us at the end of the episode is the cry of a woman realizing that it's just her and Cody that are left. And I think that's why she is crying. That is the reason for these tears.
Next episode, the Browns spend Christmas apart. Christine talks with her kids about her new boyfriend, David. In a heated sit-down, Cody blames Meri for their divorce. Janelle wants to settle the property dispute with Cody and move on. Christine and David continue to move their relationship quickly.
I was confused there for a second because I thought it was Christine and David twice, but it was Christine.
It was.
Well, it's Christine telling her kids about David first, and then it's going to be Christine and David moving things to the bedroom.
Just what we need, the mystery storyline about what happens with Christine and David.
I think this is some of the stuff that we probably could have cut out, that we could have advanced the storyline a little bit quicker.
Bad habits die hard. Thank you for listening. If you want to support us, the best way to do that is by subscribing to the podcast and leaving a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Be sure to chat with us about the episode on our Discord channel by joining our Patreon, patreon.com/survivingpod.
Stay tuned, share with friends. See you next time.